Hi everybody, it's May 31st, 2016. This earlier in the day I did a just an interview with Wayne. We just did a kind of a recap for the week and just kind of digested especially what BP Earthwatch had to say, which I think the whole community is reverberating with his video from this week, quite frankly. But one of the pictures that I wasn't showing on my screen that we were talking about was this one. This is the one that Wayne was talking about, where he had this chemtrails coming right over the blue dot, similar to what we saw in the rearview mirror of the guy from Virginia. So you can kind of see that this is not a lens flare. It was definitely, they were trying to cover it up. This is what he saw from Colorado. So this is one of the pictures that we missed in terms of being able to show it on this morning's this morning's YouTube video. Okay. Now check out this recording, or this photograph. So basically, I received this photograph from the Norfolk in the British Isles, which, as you know, we've been getting a lot of really good shots from the all-sky cam in that area. In fact, it gets taken out quite often. But anyway, this photograph was accompanied by an interesting note, which I'd like to read to you. And I don't want to show you the note because I don't want to compromise the identity of the person that provided this. Hi Steve, I've been impressed by your videos on the YouTube. I'm in possession of knowledge to back up the real existence of a blue dwarf star in orbit around the sun since 2009. Now this is a theory that I've played with before, but let's listen. It was originally invisible to the human eye, such as that astronomers thought it better to make no mention of it. At that stage, it was only luminescent in the ultraviolet and X-ray part of the spectrum. It still puts out UV and X-ray, but since it's now absorbing solar mass, it is now visible to the human eye as the blue dwarf star, roughly about the size of Jupiter. However, unlike Jupiter, this high-energy object, HEO 437 Caccina, is not a planet. It is a very heavy star and far older than the sun. I saw others were able to capture pictures of it, so I thought to have a go with it with my mobile phone to see if I could catch a picture of it. With the exception of one picture, all the rest of the pictures were overexposures. This picture was taken on Sunday, May 29th at 11:15 UTC at Norfolk in the British Isles. And then furthermore, he says NASA and UCLA have confirmed the reality of this object, and they call it HEO 437. Having arrived in 2009, it's a high-energy dwarf star, originally invisible to the human eye. It is devouring the sun, absorbing solar mass, thus it's becoming more visible to the human eye, etc., etc., just like we talked about. So just wanted to let you, kind of share this theory with them, but this is what else they said about it. Now, notice the higher levels of UV or ultraviolet light since it showed up in this time frame. Notice the uptick in earthquakes and volcanoes. Will it suck the sun into non-existence, thus bringing in an ice age? Again, this is just a theory, but this kind of corroborates with some of the stuff we saw from Mark Reed, where we saw this actual object and seemingly embedded into the sun, which was kind of an interesting photograph. Grumpy Moose is lighting up like a freaking Christmas tree lately. This is kind of a very common sight, but a very intense sight. LASCO seemed to have given us some kind of a indication of something. It almost looks like a three-dimensional object behind the LASCO C2. Just a very interesting thing. And then if you look at the, here's another look at it, and you can see it even a little clearer. Perhaps not. Let's just zoom in on it a little bit so you guys can see it better. But it appears to have some dimensionality to it. Just another interesting pickup. Check this out. This is from George Creek Orchards from the 26th, but we've been seeing this kind of manifestation in different cameras, which just tells me that it's something credible because it's seen on different cameras. It's not just one camera one time. We used to see it on Italy all the time, but then Canada started showing some stuff up. And then check this one out. This is starting to get more and more pronounced. I'm seeing more and more pictures of this orb that's not a lens flare, that's not expressed as a lens flare, just out on its own, out in the middle of nowhere. And that is a little disconcerting based on some 1996 prophecies we've heard. This goes in the category of flashing sun. So here's two different clips that were sent by a subscriber showing the flashing sun that they captured. And many people are testifying that they're seeing this but not capturing it with cameras, but they can feel it and see it. Again, just another weird phenomenon that's kind of, following us around lately. check this out. So this kind of goes to the Sam Hoffman, huge planet theory. And if you think about what BP said, if the dwarf stars in the asteroid belt and its orbiting planets are kind of orbiting it, it would stand to reason that some of these planets would get close to us. But anyway, in this one, you can see the large kind of circular, you know, image there. I mean, it's one of those things where we keep catching these shadows or whatever they look like, big planets. It's just something to keep an eye on. Okay, so let's skip through a couple of a lot of good subscriber photographs that I have been getting through. But here's a picture where you can see the chemtrail, or you can see the strange cluster, or what would we call that? I don't even know what I call that. Some kind of a strange cloud, I guess. And then right above it, that kind of faint image of a large, body of some sort. So again, just seeing all this different evidence. These are the ones that are getting to me, though. The ones that we're getting, again, from the Ockency webcam. Here's a really good picture of a red body surrounded by, apparently, clouds. Very, very compelling photograph. Very compelling. And then this one is in Santiago, Chile. I don't know what to make of this one, quite frankly, but it could be just a little cloud pattern or formation. But let's just zoom in on it and see what we can see here. But again, these are the kinds of things that I am taking a look at with the Sam Hoffman stuff in mind. But again, I'm open-minded. I still kind of stay with the traditional theory of this thing, which it's approaching. And now with BP saying that it possibly could be in the asteroid belt, all of this stuff starts to make sense. Why we can't see it at certain times, why we get all these manifestations all the time in these different sky cams like this. Okay? This one is interesting because it shows actually the lack of an object, and this is from Morocco, partially blocking out the sun. But again, it could be some kind of a photographic effect, but it does seemingly look like a planet. This one just freaked me out, man. I used it as a thumbnail earlier today, but look at this. Now, this goes back to that sun, that blue dwarf sun, maybe combining, eating our sun type thing. I don't know. But this is very, very interesting photograph, and the effect that they got from this photograph was, quite compelling. Now, this one you say, okay, well, there's a lens flare up in the sky, but the problem with that is this one is behind the clouds, guys, okay? So when I have something that's behind the clouds like this, that's not a lens flare. That's actually there, okay? So the second thing you'll notice is this huge orbular possible orb here to the left of the sun. Again, just extremely compelling, and again, guys, I'm telling you, as this picture starts to come together and we start to see what's going on, it's a perfect time for you to give your heart to Christ. And what I mean by that is to really reach out and have God, help you and talk to you and be your friend. So this next one from Sharon Harbeck, this is actually the sun was reflecting on her house. There was like a couple places where the sun was reflecting on her house just openly, and she actually captured a picture of a multicolored orb on the side of her house that was reflecting from the sun. And then here's this is our weather cam down in Jandakot Airport. Again, seeing that large object down there, as we had seen earlier. Now on the 27th, just further corroborating and collaborating and validating that thing is there. So here's an interesting corroboration. So we get this image, sun, and then we see this kind of strange, very strange shaped, like orb with an inner orb and then a cross through the middle of it, which is green, a greenish color. And then you go to the All Sky Cam network, and we have been seeing a similar but less defined green object. I wonder if they're somehow connected. Interesting. Here's an interesting one from Addicted to Sports. Again, I had another one that was call it altered from this time at 0450, altered to show. But look, at the reason that they altered it and sent me a fake was because they're trying to hide the fact that we've got all this evidence in this picture. So just ignore anything you've seen on that anywhere else. That's the real deal right there. This is the one that they tried to fake on me, but again, you can see that we caught it. This is just more All Sky Cam, and again, here's that blue thing behind the clouds. Some are calling it the blue Kachina. Here's one of our reverse rainbows happening. Very strange, reverse rainbows happening in the sky. And then here's where where we get this big light source, and then all of a sudden something blocking it, like a planet or other obstruction. Okay, so here are a bunch of things I'm behind with Roy. Roy has been doing a lot of great work. So I'm just going to quickly go through his stack of stuff that he sent me. And then the objects are getting really close to the sun now, he has mentioned. This is from Winter Haven. This one is from, again, Winter Haven, showing the refractions and reflections of the objects. More of the same. More of the same. Now this is where starts to get interesting. These refractions start to have this shape in the actual red circle around it, which is very interesting. More like a reflection than a refraction, I would say, Roy. It's becoming. Check out these lens flares over here. He's so honest, and he just so breaks these things down. Istanbul, Jamestown, New York, Overguard. Look at the definition and where you actually can see like the little dent in that orb. Again, reminiscent to the Nibra sky disk. And again, the thing that's interesting about these is that they're all visible from North America, and then we get that kind of familiar, pentagram shape from the different things. Check out this one I just got before I was ready to close the video. This was taken with an IR camera. And check out how we're catching the flash, and check out that little dot in the middle, and check out the big, this is IR, guys. Interesting, very interesting. Okay, to finish out this video today, I need to do a fundraiser. So instead of coming at you and saying, oh, I need money, I'm going to tell you why you should support WSO. The first thing is, it's BS not to support people who make great content that you like and benefit from. Total BS, man. This is not a free endeavor. It costs money to do this. It takes a lot of time to do it, and you guys all know that. So it's BS. Stop listening to the trolls. Stop listening to the naysayers. It's okay to support people like me that are doing this and trying to keep everything free. The other thing it helps me to do is it keeps me in the ability to order new balloon equipment, photographic equipment, and in fact all the things that I have right now that I'm using were from the last fundraiser we did last month, and I wanted to thank everybody because now I'm able to do better videos, more excellent programming, and I really love doing this. And then finally, it helps me to grow this platform and ministry. Yeah, it's a ministry to help folks more, building groups and teams. The unbelievable number of people that are telling me that they're coming back to the Lord. Again, I don't know. This has nothing to do with me. It's the Holy Spirit. So here's the thing. Just use the PayPal link. Send me some cash if you can afford it. Send me the cash. Send me some donations if the Holy Spirit's putting it on your heart to do it. That's all I'm asking you to do. If you can't afford it, don't worry about it, man. That's why everybody else is supporting it, so that you can watch it for free. So let's work together as a team and keep this content out there, everybody. I love you. I pray for you. And God, I hate asking